Well, hello, my friend, and welcome to day 14 of our 31-day journey through the Proverbs. Now, if you've ever asked yourself or wondered to yourself, why in the world is he using this World English Bible version or translation of the scriptures? There's other translations that are so much more, how shall we say, relatable or understandable. Well, here's the thing. I will explain. The World English Bible is not copyright protected. In other words, it's in the public domain. There's only a few versions of the scriptures that are in the public domain. All of the other ones are copyright protected, so I can't use them in this type of a setting, unfortunately. Would love to use some other translations, but what we have is the World English Bible, and I've discovered that it's the most relatable of all of the ones that are in the public domain. So that's what we've got to work with. Let's go ahead and get started on our reading for the day, shall we? Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 1 says, "Every wise woman builds her house, but the foolish one tears it down with her own hands. He who walks in his uprightness fears the Lord, but he who is perverse in his ways despises him. The fool's talk brings a rod to his back, but the lips of the wise protect them. Where no oxen are, the crib is clean, but much increase is by the strength of the ox. A truthful witness will not lie, but a false witness pours out lies. A scoffer seeks wisdom and doesn't find it, but knowledge comes easily to a discerning person. Stay away from a foolish man, for you won't find knowledge on his lips. The wisdom of the prudent is to think about his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. Fools mock at making atonement for sins, but among the upright there is goodwill. The heart knows its own bitterness and joy. He will not share these with a stranger. The house of the wicked will be overthrown, but the tent of the upright will flourish. There is a way which seems right to a man, but in the end it leads to death. Even in laughter, the heart may be sorrowful, and mirth may end in heaviness. The unfaithful will be repaid for his own ways. Likewise, a good man will be rewarded for his ways. A simple man believes everything, but the prudent man carefully considers his ways. A wise man fears and shuns evil, but the fool is hot-headed and reckless. He who is quick to become angry will commit folly, and a crafty man is hated. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. The evil bow down before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The poor person is shunned even by his own neighbor, but the rich person has many friends. He who despises his neighbor sins, but he who has pity on the poor is blessed. Don't they go astray who plot evil? But love and faithfulness belong to those who plan good. In all hard work there is profit, but the talk of the lips leads only to poverty. The crown of the wise is their riches, but the folly of fools crowns them with folly. A truthful witness saves souls, but a false witness is deceitful. In the fear of the Lord is a secure fortress, and he will be a refuge for his children. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, turning people from the snares of death. In the multitude of people is the king's glory, but in the lack of people is the destruction of the prince. He who is slow to anger has great understanding, but he who has a quick temper displays folly. The life of the body is a heart at peace, but envy rots the bones. He who oppresses the poor shows contempt for his maker, but he who is kind to the needy honors him. The wicked is brought down in his calamity, but in death the righteous has a refuge. Wisdom rests in the heart of one who has understanding, and is even made known in the inward part of fools. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a disgrace to any people. The king's favor is toward a servant who deals wisely, but his wrath is toward one who causes shame. Well, even in my reading there, you could tell there was a couple of points where I messed up because just the way that it's worded is like, it's kind of a little strange, but there you have it. What I wanted to talk about today specifically is verse 30. Verse 30 says, "The life of the body is a heart at peace, but envy rots the bones." That verse again, "The life of the body is a heart at peace, but envy rots the bones." Now, it helps I think, in trying to understand these proverbs a little bit is to look at various other translations. So in the ESV version, it reads, "A tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot." And another translation they have in there in the ESV for tranquil is healing. I love that. A healing heart gives life to the flesh. The New Living Translation reads, "A peaceful heart leads to a healthy body. Jealousy is like cancer in the bones." And what I love about this verse is that it's so much of an inside-out approach. Instead of focusing on external things, what the scripture here is saying is that if you want to experience health in your life, even physical health, you gotta start with the heart. Gotta start with the heart. Kind of rhymes. I like that. Do you want more energy? Do you want more health? Do you want more vitality? Well, sure, it's certainly not a bad thing to eat right, to get proper sleep, to take vitamins, to get exercise, and all of these things. But if you're not dealing with your heart, remember in Proverbs 4, it says the heart is the wellspring of life. So really, dealing with the heart is where all of true health, I think, really begins. I think that's what this verse is saying. And then it goes on to say, but envy or jealousy is like rottenness or cancer. Where? In your bones, in the very heart of you. And so when I think of jealousy or envy, where does that come from? It comes from comparing myself with other people. So my affirmation for it today is, I set my heart on peace, tranquility, and healing. I set my heart on peace, tranquility, and healing. Well, that's my takeaway for the day. What I'd like to do now is focus on a takeaway from one of our viewers, and that is Josh from Lombard, Illinois. And Josh just has to say about this chapter in the Proverbs that Knowledge of God is synonymous to life. Life, love, and faithfulness. It takes humility, caution, and honesty to know God's knowledge. Man, I love that. And Josh's affirmation for the day is, today I am planning to do something that resonates with life, love, and faithfulness. Love that. Today I am planning. That is my intention. I am being intentional about this, to do something that resonates with life, love, and faithfulness. Well, thank you, Josh, so very much. I think, if we just imagine if we all had that intention every morning as you're making up your to-do list for the day, and assuming that you do that, that you include something that resonates with life, love, and faithfulness. Well, thanks, Josh, for your takeaway and your affirmation. And if I would like to invite you, the viewer, to share your takeaways and your affirmations. Just leave a comment along with the video. Share it with the rest of the class. We can all benefit from that. We can all learn from each other. It's always interesting to see how the Spirit is moving in each and every person's life, and try to be as original as possible. Really think about it and process it, and think about how is the Spirit moving on your heart. Would love to hear that. And if you would love to have your affirmation shared in one of the videos, there's still a little bit of time here while this challenge is going on to submit that. So there's more information in the description area on how to connect with us and about today's lesson. Thanks so much for joining us here for day 14. So long for now. Have a great day.